Hey guys, Matic here. Today we're going to work on another video for our punching series. We're going to learn to do things with our hands, whether it be punching, blocking, or manipulating. And what we're mainly going to work on is the basic of basic punches, the jab. So when it comes to the jab, it primarily kind of depends on who you're learning the jab from. Whether it's boxing, Muay Thai, karate, there's multiple different disciplines that kind of teach a jab differently and for different reasons. They have different reasons for using their jab. For boxing and Muay Thai, they primarily use the jab as either gauging distance away from their opponent or just to try to keep the person off of them. It's basically stranger danger, stay away. Because usually for boxers, they got that backhand ready to come right over the top. Muay Thai fighters, they set it up, push their opponent's hand down, coming in either with a big rear leg roundhouse kick or coming over with a nice dropping elbow. For karate, however, is we use our jab as an actual attack. We are actually committing to it. Karate does not normally specify on which technique is best. Some have higher success rates than others, but for a jab, we're not using it just to keep somebody away, not to measure distance, mainly because for fighting, the distance for fighting in karate when you start using your legs is greater than boxing, which is what a lot of people don't take into account, especially mixed martial artists. So when it comes to jabbing, what we're going to do is we're going to base this off of my fighting stance video, where if you go back and look, I tell you that you want your hands to kind of be at right angle stuff, but you want your front hand to be pointed at your opponent's nose, face area, at roughly a right angle. And what this does is all that they're really able to see, if I face this way at a correct fighting distance, all you can really see is my fist. You can't see my elbow as much. If I put my hand here or my hand like this, you can kind of see this whole thing kind of start coming at you. But if all you see is my fist, by the time you register my fist coming forward, it's too late. So it's a deceptive move that we're kind of doing. It's nice and sneaky. So my hand is already prepped. It's pointing at my opponent's face. So all it has to do is go in a straight line. Going off of our previous punching video, where you want to make sure you have a nice straight line, nice and strong between your fist and your forearm and your elbow, nice straight line up towards my opponent's face. So that's where we want to build off. So finding your proper distance from your target kind of takes a lot of trial and error. For me personally, my fighting distance is roughly 1 meter from my front foot to wherever my target is. So these squares are roughly about 1 meter, which is about 40 inches, 3 1/4 feet. So 40 inches, so I'm here on this blue and red line, my front foot. My target area is that white line. So from my head level, from here, my fist pointing up, it is aiming for the face of my opponent 1 meter away. That is my personal distance. Taller people, gonna be further. Shorter people, it's gonna be closer. What doesn't change is that I want my fist to be pointing at my opponent. Secondly, when you do partner drills, it's really good to do a whole lot of these with a partner, so you can go back and forth, see where you're doing wrong, what you're doing right. Is when you are fighting someone, you want your front hand to match their front hand. Main reason is this side is me, this is my opponent. Say if I'm fighting, if my hand is below, we're the same height, my hand is below, they can go right over my hand. I have no protection, and they're just going to mess up my face. It's very hard to get your hand up in time blocking up. It's much easier to block down than it is to block up. So if I drop my hand down, it makes it very easy for him to come over. If I bring my hand up like this, now it's no longer pointing at his face. Now my fist has to go down and then out. Even if I try to do it this way, it still looks very funky. They see my whole forearm coming forward to punch. They see all of this instead of matching hands. So if he has a high hand, I bring my hands up. I keep this straight line. And then I come forward. It makes it very deceptive. So you always want to match hands. So in order for us to do our punch is simply from here, just working the arm, no twisting the body or anything, is you just want to, from here, extend the hand towards your face. Preferably do this in a mirror, making sure you're closing off your center, protecting your center. Then from here, I'm just going to straighten my arm and turn my fist over to punch, aiming for, preferably for the top lip. The reason we aim for the top lip is taking human error into account. If I mess up aiming for the top lip, I'm either going to smash their mouth, their chin, or their nose. So it's giving me a high probability hit, okay? Or I wind up crushing their cheek. Either way, if I aim here, I'm open to all of this by simple trial and error. So standing in a mirror, I'm from here, nice and straight, one. Turn fist over, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each time coming back to a nice right angle, straight from my wrist, from my knuckles to my elbow, straight. All right, so that's us punching just with our arm. No twisting, no nothing, just our arm. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add twisting our body in order to really add some power to it. And so what most people say is that you want to bring your power or draw your power from your hips in order to throw a good punch. Technically, they are correct, but that's half of it. Your hips are a midway point for your power. What you really want to do is you want to try to use your legs in order to drive your punch. So in order to do that, mainly concentrating on the jab, is nice stance. From here is all I'm going to do. So if I'm in my stance, my body's kind of facing this way. My head's here, hands here, nice square, all that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this big on purpose. This is just for training. In actuality, it'll be smaller and all that. But for training, I want to take my bent leg, both legs are bent here. I want to take my bent leg and I want to straighten it. And by doing that, it automatically makes my body turn. It makes my hips and my shoulders turn as one. You don't ever want to turn your shoulders and your hips stay here, or turn your hips and your shoulders stay here. You don't get good power that way. You want to keep this moving together. So I'm going to straighten my back leg and I'm going to twist. My front leg is going to move forward a little bit. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you notice, just by me extending this leg and my body turning, my hand already moves forward. It already moves forward. I haven't even straightened my arm yet. So after I get this, I get comfortable with this, then at the same time, actually just a little bit before, boom, boom, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and from there, and you just do this nice and slow. Get this down. Extend the leg, extend the arm. Extend the leg, extend the arm. Just turning sideways. Let your body turn sideways. Try not to come up. You want to stay in this nice stance. Just forward. Just forward. Just forward. Boom. Just good 10 reps. Switch feet. Same exact thing. Extend the back leg, extend the front hand. Back leg, front hand. Back leg, front hand. Boom. Boom. Nice and twisted. Nice and twisted. Make sure that you do not turn sideways. That's not what we really want. You kind of can for training purposes if you have difficulty actually turning your body, letting yourself turn. But I'm not really turning all that much. My body's facing this way. Starts here, boom, now I'm here. Nice punch. Boom. Again, hand starts slightly before my twist. Boom. 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 Okay? 10 on one side, 10 on the other. And that's primarily on how we do a basic jab. Yo!